Thank you for joining us for Tea Time with Sugar right here on Gems Radio. Today we are sitting with the group Medici.
All good.
So for everyone who's watching right now who doesn't know who Medici is, give them a brief description.
Okay, brief description about the group. We're a multi-genre group. We do all kinds of music, and we're based on the Medici family of the Renaissance era in Italy. And essentially, we're focused on finding ways to connect with different independent artists around the world. In terms of why we call ourselves the Medici, the Renaissance era was a time period in history where this is like around like 1300 to 1500 BC. Essentially, the Medici family were like one of the most important families in Europe at that time. The reason why is because they actually created the Renaissance. They were the people who were responsible for it. People like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, Brunelleschi. All those people were discovered because the Medici family actually gave them the resources that they needed to become an artist, whether it was like painting materials or sculpting materials, stuff like that. So we look at ourselves as the people who want to help independent artists get to where they want to go, and we're a collective of artists that our focus is not only on our craft but helping improve the world of music as itself.
Okay. How are you right now helping to improve the art?
Oh, the music world.
The music world.
So we're sponsored by the New York Performing Arts Academy, and essentially we've been doing a lot of like charity and fundraiser work. We just did a charity week recently. If you wanna.
Yep.
Tell everybody.
So we tune in a lot to charity and doing things for the community, and being a part of the academy helps us out a lot with that. So we did a charity week a month ago. We performed at a children's hospital in the Bronx. We did a workshop for the kids at St. Bridget School in Manhattan, which was really fun. And then we went up to Albany and did a workshop with the kids at Dream Club. So it's like ages between like 8 and 15 that were looking into music, but they didn't know how to hone in on that talent, as well as hone in on who they know to kind of bring that talent out of them and kind of work together like we have.
Okay.
And educating those kids on that is what we wish we had years ago when we were starting out.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a big way to give back to the community, basically.
Each one teach one.
That's excellent. I like that. That's super dope.
And then Shayna also does like female empowerment stuff
That's
as well.
awesome.
She was doing on the panel.
Yeah.
We were on a panel recently.
Yeah. Well, I was supposed to be on the Brunch and Beats panel with a few other female power players in the music industry. But I feel like as a woman and as a person of color especially, it's so important for us to voice our opinions and articulate and assert ourselves in a way that doesn't come off as being too aggressive, when in reality, I'm just speaking my mind. And that could be very intimidating for a lot of people. But for me personally, I think it's super important to normalize that and to allow people to understand we are the same. You know, I'm not coming off aggressive to you. I'm seeing you eye to eye. There's no problem here.
That's wonderful.
Essentially,
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back with you on that one.
And then also Ching has done, he works with the Academy on the board.
Oh,
Right.
that's super
So yeah,
dope.
I sit on the board as the chief finance. I work with another big four doing forensic analysis and accounting, and I'm help a lot of students, especially in the music industry. You know, a lot of artists, they don't really know how to manage their money all too well. So a way to give back, especially since at the academy we're teaching underprivileged children to how to pursue their dreams, how to manage their finances, and how to actually pursue it in a light where it doesn't need to cost as much money as they make it seem. So for me, that's something that I've put myself into, using my skills both professionally as well as my music industry background.
That's super dope. So you guys are actually hands-on with the kids.
Yeah.
How is that like?
It's great.
It's great, yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's always interactive, and it's the most fun at the end of a workshop where all the kids are coming up to you showing their talents off.
That's super
Like,
dope.
oh, look, my freaking freestyle. Like that one time at Albany, there was two young girls. I think they were like between 10 and 12, and there was kind of like a bossy girl bringing up her shy friend, and she's like, yo, she got bars, show them. and she spit like a full 16 off the top.
Ooh.
And it was crazy, you
That's
know?
super dope.
And just letting them have the opportunity to just show that is a big thing for them, because that little girl now she might not be as shy, you know?
That's super dope. I
Yeah.
think what you're doing is amazing. I love it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and then he was also helping them produce as well,
Okay.
because he was showing them how to use like the keys and just how to do production, basic stuff.
Hmm. So
And
you guys all do different things
Yeah.
besides, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. So together you guys are like Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, all together.
That's right.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
So-
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been doing music?
Really long time. We actually all went to college together. Went to SUNY Albany together. So we've been making music for a long time. So it was like not too long ago we just decided to just make it like official, like we're gonna do this together.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And we kind of treat it as like a lot of groups. Like I actually was watching a documentary on like Destiny's Child, where like they kind of try to shove somebody in the front, and we're like the complete opposite. We all know that we're good at what we do, and we try to each have like an equal amount of shine. So
Okay, that's what's up. That's dope. I'm super proud of you guys. Okay, so as in every group, there are challenges in, you know, being together with different mind frames and different things. Do you guys find it hard sometimes to get things across to each other as far as
Well,
ideas?
not at all. I mean, definitely in the beginning, starting out, because we all had so many ideas, and as artists will always have a certain character or ego to them. But as of late, there are certain things that we do. So we have a team call every Wednesday night where we gather around our own agendas, trying to mix it together and collaborate. They're never, over the last, I guess, you know, half a year, where kind of it really started getting way busier. There hasn't been any of that, you know, the usual stuff that kind of for, I guess, an amateur group would kind of go through, you know.
And we have quarterly meetings as well. So every
Yeah.
quarter,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
3 months around that time frame, we all sit down around a board table and we're like, all right, here's the outlook of us, you know, both as a collective unit as well as our individual mindsets as to where we want to grow, and how we can further help other artists grow. So during these quarterly meetings, we address any types of conflicts, we address any types of visions, dreams, any differences, and we're able to, at that day before we leave the meeting, we figure out exactly, you know, how we're gonna start pushing that. So
Okay.
those things happen so constant, and like Chris said, you know, every Wednesday we have a call, no matter what. Like Wednesday, everyone's on and we
That's
discuss
super
that,
dope.
yeah.
That's
But
good.
the-
Y'all communicate
The
well.
way that I do see it though is like we're like a family.
Right.
You know, sometimes when you spend too much time with your family, you're gonna want to cut each other's necks off. But at the end of the day, like we all have the same goal here, so we're still gonna keep going.
Right.
You know, and that's what kind of brings us together overall. Is like, okay, this is what we want to do, and this is what we're all gonna try to do, no matter how aggravating we may be or how many hours we spend together. It doesn't matter, as long as we're getting something done. That's all that matters.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
So you as the only woman,
Oh
woo,
shit.
does it make it more difficult for you to like?
I mean, in the beginning, yeah, and I think, and I guess when I was younger, it was a little harder, you know, going in and out between managers. But when we first started out, yeah, it was definitely hard trying to voice my opinion, and it wasn't so much that they weren't listening to me, but it was more so me trying to figure out how to articulate myself. Because as women, we're empathic. We want to be like, oh, you know, we're more so feelings based. So in me not trying to hurt your feelings, I'm really hurting my feelings. But I think it's just a matter of like, you know, Chris is always telling me, Shayna, I'm not trying to pop off on you. Like, just hear me out. And there's many times where he's like, you know, don't pop off right now. It's okay. Just take a breath. But yeah, it's just practice for all of us to say exactly how we're feeling and to be like, okay, this is the issue and this is how we're gonna resolve it, and we'll move forward.
Okay.
It was hard, but now it's just a matter of speaking your mind over and over.
Communication.
That's super dope. That's super dope. You're supposed to have good communication skills
Yeah.
in order to have a successful group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you guys see you taking your careers and the group in a few years from now?
I mean, I don't even want to say a few years from now. I see us taking it international. Like I see us being a household name, not just the word Medixi, but all of our individual names. I see it being everybody knowing who we are, whether it's like people who are like Beyonce, Drake, Medixi, you know what I mean, and then Shayna, and then Young Lai, and then Siren, Blackbird, Ray Medixi. So I see us being up there with the best of them.
Okay. From the time that you guys started Medixi and to now, how do you think you've grown as a group and as individuals?
I mean, I think our artistry has definitely grown. With me, when I first started music, it was mainly like through just singing, like basic singing or freestyling. But it's turned into me having an ear for like, oh, this is a big song, or this is a good beat, or this hook is perfect, and now I'm able to actually get it in the right position. For Shayna, she's learned her from her harmonies to her singing to vocals to now she's a talented writer. Yeah, I mean, from Chris to being a talented writer to becoming a talented rapper and can sing now. From Ching as well. Ching was just a producer in the beginning. Now he's rapping in Chinese. You know what I mean?
Super dope.
And Blackbird as well. He was producing and singing. He's just taking it to that next level. I definitely think we attribute a lot of it to the New York Performing Arts Academy because early on this year, actually we had a show at SOB's NYC, and that was kind of like our breakout show because we almost sold it out, and that was the first big show that we like took on, and the owner of the academy was there, and he was kind of like in awe of what we did, and at that moment he sponsored us. So from that moment we got the best vocalists to teach us, people who work with like Beyonce or D'Angelo.
So it's like an upgrade situation.
Our dancers who work with Chris Brown, actors that were on The Sopranos. So these are the people who are teaching us now on the day to day.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
You guys are having a great time.
Yeah.
Meeting great people. That's super awesome. Seriously. So what advice would you give to someone who is thinking of starting a group or doing something individually? What advice would you give them starting off?
Starting off, I would say, so, I mean, a lot of people say that you should put out a lot of content first, but I think you should figure out yourself. Because, like, in the beginning when I first did music, my sound is completely different from what it was when I first started. Now I can actually sing really well. And that's from learning how to sing, from being around Shayna. She's her singing 24/7. But definitely learn your sound first and feel comfortable with your sound. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would say to anyone starting out, whether it's with the group or on their own, do not stop for any reason, because even now, like, or I think even people that are famous and getting up there, there's always someone trying to dim your shine or bring you down. And over the years that I've taken music seriously, I probably have been spoken to or have reached out to try to collaborate with like maybe close to 100 people. I'm sitting here with 4 other people that are about it, you know what I'm saying, that aren't gonna stop. Like, you know, for the day to day, I know if I'm too busy or let's say I'm like ill to figure something out, they're taking care of it. If they need my help, I'm taking care of them. I would say no matter what, because there will be an obstacle. Even Drake has his obstacles, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever celebrity you wanna look up to. Never stop. That's it. Bottom line. Yeah. Find whatever you have faith in, whether it's faith in God, yourself, whatever, and remember that every day you have a hardship.
Right. That's super awesome. You guys are awesome, for real. Your mind state, the way you guys are, you're organized. I love it.
We educated.
So what are you guys? Educated. I'm gonna use that one. So what are you guys doing now? What do you guys have out now? Because I seen your mama. I wanted to talk about that because
Hey.
I felt like I should have been in that video. But it's okay because we didn't know each other at that time. I'm just letting you guys know. Yep, when you're ready to record.
Right back.
Okay. No, so
you
what do
already
you guys
know we're
have-
gonna do a drop with Sugar Cosby on it, right?
Super
One of
dope.
our songs. Yeah, we
Of
got
course,
it.
you got
Definitely,
to.
we're going to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing now?
So I mean, off of what we already have out right now. Right now we have 3 big singles out. Waves, which just hit 2 million streams recently. Yo Mama, that was a collaboration with Chef Pascal. Actually, an engineer. He actually went to high school with me, but he did a big record with Drake called KMT that did really well. So we collaborated on that, and that was actually a video that the whole group was a part of that you should have been in.
Right, again.
We might reshoot it, the second one. So, you know. And then the third song is What Are We Now? So that's a song with all of us on it. Also have DJ Don Juan from the 845 as well. I'm from Rockland County.
Okay.
And he's one of the talented DJs out there. They're actually doing something called the One Love Music Festival in about 2 weeks that we're going to be headlining as well.
Oh, gotta come check y'all.
Yeah.
Right there.
So yeah, we're pushing those singles as well as we just finished our first album in the studio project. So we're gonna be releasing that really soon. Also working on our individual content as well, and we're just focusing on ways that we can get to the community as well. Like we're actually going to Miami on Thursday.
Yep, we're gonna be there on Thursday. We're performing at Summer Jam in 305 South Beach, Miami on Saturday. You know I'm ready for that. It's my second favorite city. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna do a charity out there as well.
Okay,
Of
that's
course,
super cool.
we have to. And then right before the One Love Culture Fest in Rockland, we're gonna be in Brooklyn Music Week. Shout out to them. That's gonna be Labor Day weekend. So we got a packed schedule of performing, and luckily we got our project done so we can perform.
Yeah, so we can perform it.
Yeah.
That's crazy sweet. I'm so serious.
Nah.
Y'all, you guys are gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna be great. I'm glad I got this interview down packed before you too big. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we also have a single called Out of Sight. This is just Shayna's vocals on it,
Oh, yes.
killing it.
Yeah.
You already know.
We gotta
That's
definitely
our
play
fourth
that.
single, yeah.
Definitely. Thank you guys for coming in. Tell the audience how they will be able to get in contact with you guys.
You can contact us through Instagram. Just look up at the Medixi, THEMEDIXI. If you look up Ray Medixi or Shayna Ray Sanchez, Young Leon, Siren, and Blackbird, you'll be able to find us on the internet as well.
Okay, so tell them also how to get access to your music.
Yeah, music-wise, we're on every platform. Even if you type us up on Google, MEDIXI, Medixi, you'll be able to see us on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Music,
Amazon,
Tidal, we're
Pandora.
everywhere. We're
Everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
We're your
Look out.
friends' radio in the car. You know what I mean? We're everywhere. So,
Yeah.
That's right. Look out for Medixi. They coming to a radio station near you, preferably Gems Radio. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you guys
Thank
coming.
you. You're actually our first radio station.
First
Are you
FM.
serious?
Yeah.
First
yeah.
First one.
First one.
So so when I gotta get autographs now. So I can say I did it first, like Ray J.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Word
We
up.
appreciate it.
Got you.